I have chocolate. Have some me. Have some for me and have some for my girlfriend. I'll give it to her tomorrow. Didn't take me a moment to actually warm up. I haven't played this game in almost 2 days. I'm a little rusty right now. Dude, there's more. There's more. More, really? Dude, calm down. Heal. How did I take damage there? No! Are you kidding me? Why? 2? Dude, that's insane. That's stupid. That's insane. There's no way that's actually possible. Although I kind of have to assume it is, considering it's in the game. Like, I have to assume they would at least play test things before putting them in the game. Really? Well, this is much easier. I forget how bad the Reaper is when it comes to pogoing. Like for combat and stuff. For traversal pogoing, it's pretty good because it lets you hover in the air a bit longer and it has longer range. But when it comes to actual air combat and stuff, it's pretty damn bad. How did that hit me? I had like 0 momentum. Fuck. What the fuck? Okay, that's bullshit. Is it something that'll give me longer reach? Something that never even occurred to me when it came to the actual difficulty of Hollow Knight was the fact that you can't heal midair. Like, that's just one of those things that never really seemed like an issue for me. Hell yeah, that was badass. Oh, it was risky, but I had to take the risk. This would be so much easier without the bell guys. Bell guys honestly make this insanely hard. And just these stacks, like the unusual stacks for, like, you know, these enemies make this really challenging. I don't know if that other one is even possible though, because it doesn't seem possible. Like, it doesn't seem like something that's even remotely possible. Yeah, that's not possible. That right there was an impossible situation because it literally had me caged in. There's nothing I could have done. That's super annoying. I just realized I don't even know if this is the right place I'm supposed to be going. Dude, can you stop jumping? I love how Loki, like, all the damage I took there was straight up just because the freaking bell tossing guy was just insanely aggressive. If there's one change I'd make to this, it'd probably be that freaking last segment there. And probably removing the bell guys. It would definitely make this, like, this arena a lot simpler. And with my control, what the fuck? My controls aren't responding. Oh, that guy first, and then this becomes a lot easier. These guys' little grunts and stuff remind me of Ponyo for some reason. Also, no knockback, what the fuck? Dude, are you kidding? Okay. This one's forgettable. How did I take damage? How am I taking damage there? What the fuck? Well, that's mildly annoying. Dude, that's not possible. That's straight up not possible. That's impossible to escape. Who designed this? What the fuck? That's insane. That's impossible to escape. Can I just add that to the list of issues with Silksong's ridiculous difficulty? Which, by the way, I really feel like they need to address the difficulty. I know that they're making a bug patch to patch out the difficulty of two of the most interesting fights in the game. Not even difficult fights. Like, I'm not gonna lie. One of the two fights they're patching patching the difficulty of is honestly easier than this. I think the reason why they're patching it is just because, oh hey, it's technically early sort of game. But like, I feel like they should be patching that less and patching stuff like that, stuff like what I'm dying to more. Like, take notice of what the players enjoy, take notice of what the players hate. And patch what the players hate, keep what they enjoy. Like, you know, that. Just that freaking ability spam right there. Is to really annoying a really annoying time fighting this thing. Well, you know that, for some fucking reason, I don't have the ability to get a reasonably ranged hit in. You are a fucking sack of shit. Stop dodging. Really? Still. Good, I forgot about this one because it's just such an annoying one and forgettable. Well, I guess its problem isn't that it's like overtly annoying, it's more so that it's just a really stressful one because of those tiny little insects. If I could, I would make a few edits to this game's difficulty, specifically around the arena rooms. Boom, this is possible now. For as long as I don't fuck this up. Bro! Rush my ass back to this bench. Yeah, the difficulty definitely needs some tweaks, especially this area, this region of the game.
Buenera.
Okay, cool. So I was going the right way. Something I've noticed from the other two melodies is that the melody is right next to the start of the area. Like the architect's melody is right next to the bench in the cogwork core. The conductor's melody is right next to the bench in this freaking higher area, this area. So the Vaultkeeper's memory melody is probably going to be much the same, but it's just right next to it. All of them have pretty decently long trials for it. I'm gonna go use the restroom. I'll be back. Alright, Vault Keeper's Melody. Let's figure out how to get this. Vault. I have no idea where this is. I need to head to the stage, which I can get to from the Grand Bell. Grand Bell way up. There's the stage. Where it is. I need to go up and around. Music is so slay. I guess that's muted. My brother came into my room to ask me if I still liked a certain food that I've liked. Did I not say the Bell Beast? I think this one I did. What the fuck? I hate people. I hate everything here. That was total bullshit. I didn't even touch the damn thing. Are you kidding me? How am I supposed to fight this guy? This guy is so annoying. It's not that Hollow Knight had a legacy of a bunch of really good and well-designed boss fights. And then Silksong just kind of shits on that legacy with a bunch of boss fights that are just plain annoying. Like this one. It's just plain annoying. I don't like it. I don't know what they were trying to attempt with this fight, but all it does is just freaking colorful shit everywhere. It's just annoying. Like, I couldn't even tell what was going on there because there was too much fucking flashing lights and shit. Why did they design the boss this way? Like, why did they design so much of the game this way, where it's just a bunch of flashing lights and shit, where you can't tell what's going on anymore? It's disappointing, because I was expecting a genuinely really good game. I have no doubt this game will win Game of the Year, but this is not the kind of shit you'd expect out of Hollow Knight. This doesn't feel like Hollow Knight at all, which sucks because it's not like this is a fan game. This is straight up real Silksong. It's not the difficulty that I'm upset about. It's the poor design that I'm upset about. I feel like a boss fight should be engaging and fun, not just annoying and one-sided. And it's something that they absolutely nailed with effectively every boss in Hollow Knight, apart from like a handful. And then it's the exact opposite with this one, where every freaking boss here is insanely annoying, apart from like a handful. Just a handful of fights that aren't extremely annoying or poorly designed. Well, you know, just poor map design all around. Which is sad, because this game is something I've been waiting for so long. And yeah, a lot of it just is really poorly designed and really unfortunate. I don't like how this game is designed, and honestly, I'm not sure this game will ever be even close to as good as Hollow Knight was. In my opinion, at least from my experience with the game's legitimate, actual design. I haven't modded this game at all, by the way. I haven't done anything to make it harder, nothing. I've literally done nothing but try to play the game as it's intended to play, as it's presented to you. This game will never be anywhere near as good as Hollow Knight was. Unless they do some major rebalancing and redesign of effectively almost all of the bosses in the entire game, this game will never be close to Hollow Knight levels of fun. Yeah, there's a lot they need to fix with this game. Overall, I think they just really need to fix the hitboxes. They need to fix the hitboxes and definitely the difficulty curve. The difficulty curve for Hollow Knight's a very noticeable one, but it's also a very natural one. As you progress deeper into Hollow Nest and as you get more abilities, the difficulty curve naturally becomes more there, more present. But this game, its difficulty curve is effectively a flat line. I would not say any of the bosses I faced here have been any harder to me than just like some of the first bosses of the game. And that's the problem. When there's literally too little of a change in the game's difficulty. When it gets to that point, like, honestly, just redesign it. And it's not like what that one guy, I think his name is Jacob, something like that. It's not like what he said on YouTube is even accurate an accurate or mature response to criticism of Silksong even remotely. They made this game insanely difficult, but gave you no way to actually learn how to play the game comfortably. Other than just die over and over. There's literally no actual tutorial for the game. Other than just going through and dying over and over. And the game shouldn't be designed around that. And it's very obviously not. And if it is, well then it has really shit penalties for dying. Hollow Knight was designed for you to die over and over to learn new bosses and learn how to actually play the game and stuff. That was just how it was fucking made, and it worked perfectly because they always made the track back comfortable and always made it a good, in the cases where it was more annoying, made it a good warm-up for the boss fight. Take the Mantis Village, for example. Takes a while to get back to the Mantis Lords when you die, but in getting back to them, you get a really nice warm-up for the game. Like, you get a really nice warm-up for the boss fight, because all the enemies there are similar to the Mantis Lords in some way. But then you take that ant lady from the end of Act 1, and that's just shit design. Like, how do I put it? This game isn't shitty as in it's poorly made. It's shitty as in it's poorly produced. What the fuck? Like, I'd say probably my biggest gripe with this game and how it alters from the original one. How do I put it? The fact that the game genuinely just feels, in some aspects, like the animation and the actual flow of movement, way higher quality than Hollow Knight, because Hollow Knight had like almost no budget. But in terms of like actual boss fights and fights and stuff, lower quality. It doesn't feel like they tried nearly as hard to make an engaging fight as much as they did to try to just ride the absolute love that Hollow Knight got for its amazing fights and stuff. Hollow Knight's not popular because it has a kick-ass story, even though it does. It's popular because it has kick-ass combat despite being a 2D Metroidvania. That's probably some of the best combat ever seen in any video game. And overall, some of the best gameplay progression ever seen. And Silksong has some pretty good gameplay progression, but it has really, really shit boss fights that ultimately feel just really like trying too hard to be the oh so special difficult game. There's no balance with all the boss fights and the kind of shit that they can do. I literally have to turn screen shake off for some of the boss fights to even be fucking fair. And yes, that was a slight problem with Hollow Knight, with the screen shake being too intense in a lot of areas. But it usually wasn't to a degree like this. Like to a degree where I straight up have to turn it off to feel any sort of like freaking comfort with the game. Like, it's definitely something they need to actually address with this game. And patching out bosses that literally no one was having a problem with isn't how you address that. Like, making bosses easier that literally no one had a problem with the difficulty of isn't how you really do that. Ultimately, it is Team Cherry's game, and they can do whatever they want because Hollow Knight has such a good reputation. They could have literally released Silksong as a buggy piece of trash, and I guarantee you it still would have had the same good reception it has right now. Because at this point, it's less about the game and more about just the fact that we get more Hollow Knight. It's really sad because I was anticipating this game so hard for so long, and yet the game's just come out to be like a shell of what Hollow Knight was. It has good movement, but that's about all it has going for it when it comes to any of the fights. There are a few gems in there that are absolutely freaking amazing. But again, like just the first boss of Hollow Knight, freaking False Knight. Just the first boss of Hollow Knight, I'd say, is more well designed than almost every single boss in this entire game. And that boss is literally one of the worst designed bosses in the entire game, which says a lot. And how bad the quality for these bosses are. Also, how come when it came to actually making a glide mechanic, they couldn't make it function properly? Like, it's not hard to actually make a glide mechanic. You can do that in like you can do that in just a few lines of code. Well, not really the glide mechanic, but more the priorities between the gliding and the double jump. It's not even like I'm hating on this game just for the sake of hating on it. I genuinely want to like this game. I don't think anyone wants to dislike this freaking game because it's something that literally everyone's been excited for actual years. Something they definitely need to like chill out on, if not completely remove, is fucking flying enemies. They're the worst. Okay, why isn't my... I get notifications from Steam and like shit, but none of them are actually pinging my phone. None of my notifications are actually going off. I'm gonna restart my phone. This is... my phone back up. This boss is annoying. I literally can't hear anything coming from my phone right now. Hold on, I'm gonna check if any of the noises are working. Yeah, iPhone is just stupid. It's just silencing my notifications for literally no reason, so I'm not even gonna be able to see anything anyone sends me. God, why is iOS so freaking bad? This is why I want to use an Android instead. Are you kidding me? You know, I'm wondering how this wasn't a problem with Hollow Knight, considering Hollow Knight was the first game, and yet somehow Silksong has worse hitboxes. They nailed it with Hollow Knight, and then they fucking ruined it with Silksong. How the fuck do you manage that? If it's perfect, don't change it. That's why you always make hitboxes smaller than the actual attack itself. Because otherwise it's just straight up unfair for no reason. whereas someone making a pretty interesting indie game I'm following put it is like you make it smaller than the actual attack is, because if it's perfectly sized with the attack, then it's just boring. Because if just one pixel of the attack hits you, it still deals the same amount of damage as if the entire attack were to hit you, making dodging effectively pointless. Shut up, you piece of shit. Law mirror? What does that do? When binding emits. Holy fuck, that's good! What the hell? Okay, yeah. I'd say that. I'd say that was worth the trouble. I'd say that was worth the trouble because that hold on, I'm gonna test it real quick actually. So hit me. How did you manage to fail to hit me? I did that wrong. I'll just text whenever I get the chance. Since I've now taken damage, which means... Please have a bench. No, this is the underworld. I'm done, little buddy. I never touched your mom. To me, it's kind of funny how much this game is circumvented when you're just able to pogo moderately well. Memory locket. Oh shit, that's useful. I have no clue where I'm heading. Alright, I'm heading this way. Why are these spider guys so fucking autistic? What the hell? You tell me there's a bench nearby.
Benny Frank.
Nope. Did he really expect me to go all the way back through there? Okay. Objective. This will be easy. That stalled me out just right. Aw, thank you. That was so kind of you. How did all of them miss? How did all of them miss? How did you miss? I was 5 inches in front of you. How? Bro, you're trash. Just delete yourself at this point. Jesus Christ. I love saying unhinged shit like that. Just delete yourself. Is that weirdo in here? Go down that way. Okay, where is it? Hold on. Wait. while this is happening, while this is loading, I'm gonna text my girlfriend because I love her so much. Ouch. You fuck nugget. This is why your parents don't love you. I hate those things. Bro. I'm just gonna head straight right. Nothing here again. I'm between a pissed off fat man and a hard place right now. And if that ain't familiar feeling, I don't know what is. The Whispering Box. That's cool, bro. Where the fuck is that goddamn spool fragment silk cards? Where is it? Fuck, dude, I'm fucking confused. It should have been just across there. Where? Down here, maybe? I think so. Oh, I'm between a vanguard and a hard place. Is it closer to the top? Do I need to go further up? It shouldn't be. That room doesn't match it, but I can check. I read the top of the room. I don't know because it goes higher up over here. Oh, well, you know, probably this.
This view? Yanara.
Dude, I love that. Just either. That's funny.
Cadestre.
Alright, it's murder time.
Tamiyan.
I think that would be of any use to me.
That's fine. Benny Frank. Mio Fienne.
Alright, this should be time for lace now. I have no idea what to do now. Just hold F, I got it. Yeah, I get why this is called Silksong now. Quite on the nose. It is time to ascend, motherfucker. Well, this is pretty. And this is the final boss. Oh, fuck! Please tell me that plays again. I was not ready for that. I legit had my hands off the keyboard because I was expecting it to be dialogue. I wasn't expecting it to just be straight up murder. Please play that cutscene again. Fuck. Yeah, I need to lock the fuck in for this fight. I know this fight's good. I know this fight will be really good. Let's see. Can't wait, Katie. Dude, I thought this was supposed to be an RPG. What role am I playing? The fucking victim? After I beat this game, I'm gonna go back to Hollow Knight and give Pantheon 5 another shot on Steel Soul. Because if I could just get that ending, then that's like almost all achievements. I need to start jumping at the end of that. Like, what am I fucking expecting? For her to just be like, oh yeah. Oh yeah, no, I'll play fucking fair. Yeah, like this bitch would. It's fucking Lace. Lace never plays fair. She's just kind of a bitch. Ha, good dodge. Why is that attack always fails so much? I think it's because she tries to be too flashy with it. Instead of adjusting for location, she tries to be flashy with her attack. And that's why that freaking parry attack, like that counter attack, is always failing. Because, like, I don't think I've genuinely ever seen someone get hit by that when they were actually focused on the fight. Like, I got hit by that because I literally just walked into it. I think Reaper would be a really good use of my crest. Imagine if Beast was best for this fight. God, that'd be hilarious. Because Beast is like the worst fucking crest you can get. Unironically, also the hardest one to get. Without a doubt, because of that freaking stupid Savage Beast fly. Yeah, I don't know if this is a good crest for this fight. Yeah, definitely not a good crest for this fight. I'll honestly try the Hunter's Crest. I'll give that another try. Hunter's Crest. Let's throw on this. Let's throw on this. Let's throw on this. Actually, I'm gonna put this down here since the other one's kind of useless. I'm still gonna stick with the Storm. I feel like just the Hunter's Crest, like just the normal attacks might actually be fucking baller for this fight. It'd be hilarious if they were. We'll see, because so far the Wanderer's Crest has been the crest that's carried me through most shit. Apart from the fights where you really have time. In which case, yeah, the... I love how the crests effectively work as a lazy, like, mimic of the charm system. Okay, yeah, that definitely felt a bit nicer to use. It's just that diagonal freaking... It's just that stupid freaking diagonal spike thing. Why does Hornet do that? Like, by default, that's what Hornet does. Why? Like, why would you do that? Why would you diagonally dive at an opponent when you're right above them? Why wouldn't you just slam down on them, cracking their freaking skull open? No, that's what I would do. And I'm not even a fucking combat expert like Hornet is. Even if a child could figure that out, I'm pretty sure someone with as much experience as Hornet could too. I think she's legit just trying to be special. Get bent, you stupid child. Yo, that's fucking sick as hell. Finally, you actually start fucking playing the game, right? Alright. I think I got a strategy. I'm going to adjust my things. But I'm going to equip this instead. And, yeah. That should be all I need to change. Hopefully I shouldn't have to change anything else. That should just be a good setup. That should right there just be the perfect setup for me. Then it's just all a matter of getting good. Because this girl's attacks are very basic. What the fuck? Well, her attacks are basic. Doesn't change the fact that I still suck at the game. Like, in level of difficulty, I definitely say this girl does not exceed Lost Kin. It's just the fact that I don't have the option of charms to back me up on this. And I don't have a familiar, sensible combat system. Instead, I have this over-glorified and over-designed system. Yeah, this fight really does not exceed like the actual complexity of just Lost Kin, where it's literally just attack and parry, and occasionally jump. It's honestly just a double damage and the really complex combat system of Silksong that makes this fight difficult at all. I guarantee you, if this game had the combat system of the original Hollow Knight, this fight would have been over on my first attempt. I guarantee you it. Like the same charm system, that kind of stuff. Like with my usual setup for my charms in Hollow Knight, this fight would have been a fucking singe. Like, I mean, it wouldn't have even lasted like 20 seconds kind of shit. This fight is just kind of a joke. Ah. Well, what's probably making this game so hard is a lack of an actual charm system for a Hollow Knight game. Hollow Knight became really easy late game because of the fact that you get so many charms that the knight just becomes the combat becomes completely different and isn't so, like, you're not so vulnerable anymore, especially because of like masks and soul and stuff. With you actually being able to do anything against anyone and not just sit there and be beaten up helplessly. Definitely made the game a lot easier, and that's legit what I think the reason why Silksong is so difficult. Not actually difficult, it's just shittily designed. Like, it just doesn't fall back on what Hollow Knight had. That made its combat so unique and fun. It instead tries to do its own thing, and they did a excellent job with crests. I can say that. Like, I can confidently say the crest is probably one of the best gameplay elements I've ever seen. Change the crest, change the combat. Doesn't change the fact that they didn't do a good job with the combat, in my opinion. It's not like I'm just being salty, though. It's legit just the combat feels more sluggish than Hollow Knight was. Hollow Knight felt a lot more agile than the game where you're supposed to play as someone whose entire combat style is being agile. Which, I don't know how you managed to fuck that up. That's the funny part to me. How did they manage to fuck that up? I think it's because they tried so hard to make the combat system agile instead of falling back on what was already established in Hollow Knight. Like, they tried too hard with this game. Which sucks because it genuinely is a good game in most aspects. Apart from any sort of balancing and fairness and in most aspects outside of the world design and exploration. Which is sad because this game was so hyped up for 8 years, only to be pretty disappointing. I personally think it's pretty sad how hyped up this game was. Because, like, I was expecting more Hollow Knight, not this. I think what we got for Silksong, for the most part, is pretty disappointing if you expect to get more agile combat. But I'm not gonna sit here and say that Silksong's a bad game. I'll say that it's a fully designed game. It's good at that. It's clear that Team Cherry really did not have much playtesting outside of the people who actually fucking designed the game. Which, if you don't know, that's like literally step one on how you make a poorly designed, poorly balanced game. You don't have people who aren't involved in the development of it playtesting for you. There's the problem with playtesting it yourself, other than just playtesting it yourself or actually trying to balance the game out, is you know everything about the game. The players won't. So you just end up creating a horribly balanced game because you try to make it hard for you. And then in your attempts to make it hard for you, you make it insanely hard for everyone else. I'm willing to bet when Team Cherry was making this boss, they thought, oh yeah, this boss is a pretty decent challenge, but most people probably figure it out after 1 or 2 attempts. Probably won't have much trouble with it. But I guarantee you, they did not expect anyone to take more than freaking 10 attempts on this thing. And I don't understand how they missed that crucial part of making an indie game. When you don't have a massive studio, you just get people to beta test you. And ultimately, it does lead to fights like this where it's just unbalanced. The fight's still fun. Like, I'm still having fun with the game. I'm genuinely, like, actually enjoying the game. But it doesn't change the fact that this fight was shittily designed. Like, it could have been designed better in a way to make it actually balanced and make it feel nice to play. Especially if they just straight reworked Hornet's combat, because if they actually reworked it to be more adjacent to how Hollow Knight played, I guarantee you this game would be much better, and its combat would be way better. Also, if there were better telegraphs, I can definitely say that. Like, a huge part of Hollow Knight was the fact that its telegraphs were short but very clear. None of the telegraphs looked too similar. And that's what made bosses like Pure Vessel and Absolute Radiance, well, actually not even Absolute Radiance. Absolute Radiance has almost no telegraphs. That's what made bosses like Pure Vessel freaking really, really doable. And when you actually got into the nitty gritty of them, really fucking easy. Is the fact that they had really clear and concise telegraphs. But a problem with this is that, like, you know, it's telegraphed for her parry, like whether she's going to parry immediately or if she's going to do that, like whether she's going to jump into the air to actually parry or if she's going to just parry you immediately. Those telegraphs are the exact same, which really fucks this game up. So all you can really do is just run away and hope to God you got the telegraph right. Yeah, I could definitely say that the double damage does add difficulty to the game. But how do I actually put the way it adds difficulty? It's not real difficulty. I would have not died. I probably wouldn't have died like almost a single time during most of this game. Like most of the explorations throughout this game if it wasn't for double damage. Is the fact that it gives you double damage way too early on. Instead of saving it for optional or like insanely late game bosses, you know, like for example, Pure Vessel, all of its attacks being double damage. Or NKG. Both of those are optional bosses that have double damage for all attacks. And again, wait, is it telegraphful when she jumps in the air and when she just slashes at you the exact... That is... I know they're similar, because that's throwing me off. The telegraph is throwing me off. But if they're the exact same, that is really bad, and that needs to be fixed, like, instantly. Because the only reason why boss fights for Hollow Knight and stuff are even possible are because of stuff like telegraphs. So this will be a jump up. This will be a thank you game for not letting me thank you game. What? I hate that. The sun's getting in my eyes now, and I hate it. And I don't have curtains either, on specifically the window it's coming through. I legit don't have anything covering that window, so the sun's just in my eyes and it's bothering me. I definitely feel like she shouldn't be able to start off with an attack like that. That shouldn't be a thing. Because, like, let's take most of the hardest bosses in Hollow Knight. Thing was, the first attack was always predictable because it was never like a specific kind of attack for the specific bosses. Pure Vessel, for example, his first attack's always like one of 3 easy to dodge attacks, and none of his attacks are confusing in any ways. But then for Lace, you can just start off with any of her attacks, and that's really, really crappy. How? Does she just immediately always go into a parry after that attack? That's pretty shit design. I think another thing that actually makes this game pretty damn hard is legit just how poor the hitboxes are made. Like, I was griping about this earlier, but Hollow Knight, you could stand like a solid bit into the hitboxes, into like the attack, and the hitboxes won't hit you because they're designed to be smaller than the attack. That's how you're supposed to do hitboxes. Yeah, they need to add better telegraphs for this fight. Honestly, they really need to add an actual telegraph to differentiate between the 2 parries. Because it's really easy to tell when she's going to parry, because it's, you know, pretty damn clear telegraph. It's the most clear one in this entire fight. And the only one that looks unique at all. But it's impossible to tell which kind of parry she's going to be doing. Whether she's going to be jumping into the air to hit you from behind, or if she's just going to be hitting you flat there, right there. Which, that's really bad. That's really bad design. You're supposed to add decisive telegraphs for all bosses. That's what makes bosses actually doable. Because on paper, without telegraphs, most bosses are straight up impossible. If it wasn't for the audio and visual cues that that you get from stuff like, you know, Data Xehanort from Kingdom Hearts 3, that boss would straight up just be impossible. Or, you know, any sort of, if you remove just any of the audio cues or visual cues for Yozora, that fight becomes impossible as well. It's like that for a lot of the super bosses for Kingdom Hearts. Because they are designed that way, to where you have to rely on telegraphs. You have to rely on, like, just singular frame telegraphs. Those telegraphs are really short. But it's still all freaking fun, because the telegraphs are very clear and decisive. You're able to tell what Lingering Will from Kingdom Hearts 2 is going to do if you just look at the first frame of the fight. If he's just standing there and not actually getting into a position, then he's going to either curse you, punch you, or he's going to immediately teleport backwards and blast you. It's very clear and concise. It's not like a mystery type thing. Telegraphs are easy to read. Also has something else I need to fix. Her just camping the corners there. Did I just hit her from the other side? How the fuck? Okay, so I think that's starting to make more sense to me. If you're on the ground when you hit her during her parry, she'll parry on the ground, but if you're in the air, she'll switch to the air parry. I think that's starting to make more sense to me. Should be much easier to avoid then. I can honestly install the health bar mod so I can know how aggressive I can be. And how, like, what ridiculous amount of health this whore has. Remember, all people with white hair that aren't from age are usually whores. Especially if they're shaped like this girl. And sound like her too. Never mind, it doesn't make sense. Those were just coincidences. Because I hit her in... What? This fight makes no sense. Because I hit her in the air, and she did a ground parry. And then I hit her in the air, like I did a dash attack towards her, and she did an air parry. What sense does any of that make? This boss makes no sense. I really don't like it when people don't make bosses that make sense. It's very clear that her main mode of like attack and stuff is that air attack. So if I can just avoid that one, I should be... That was an... Okay. Okay. What? And that was a ground attack. So there's really just no if statement there. It's just randomly decided and it was just fucking pure goddamn coincidence. I'll say it again. This game sucks when it comes to boss fights. They really need to fix like all the boss fights in the game. I mean literally almost all of them except for maybe two. Maybe two boss fights in this game that aren't complete and utter trash. They need to fix the freaking telegraphs for that one because there's no reason why two different attacks should have the same telegraph. That just removes any sort of fun from the fight and just makes it instead just pure freaking annoyance. They also need to make these telegraphs not so similar because that telegraph with just a standard combo and her telegraph for going in the air is really similar. You know, that actually makes a lot more sense why I'm struggling with this freaking fight so much. These telegraphs are complete ass, bro. Like, I don't mind short telegraph. That one's actually one of the few that they don't need to fix. There's two I can think of where they don't need to fix. It's the one for the Bellheart. Bellheart doesn't need any fixing. The Bellheart boss, that doesn't need any fixing. And the Gatekeeper. Those two don't really need much fixing because those two are pretty damn balanced. And those two have pretty good balance, really good telegraphs, and make sense. But something like, you know, Lace, especially the second encounter, makes... Her telegraphs are not clear and concise, they aren't consistent, and none of her starting attacks are consistent considering she has her entire first phase attacks to use from, which is super annoying, and you never want to do that for a double damage boss like this. You always want to do a clear and concise first attack. Like one where the player can know what to expect and can actually prepare for that. For like heavier hitting bosses, that's literally just 101 boss making. And if Team Cherry couldn't figure that out, Jesus Christ, I'm scared for if they ever make another game. Because they had it so perfect, and then they ruined it. They fucking ruined it by not doing that. By actively choosing to make bad bosses for this game. Like the literal most anticipated game to ever be released. And somehow the gameplay is worse than the original. I don't think that's literally ever happened before. I don't think that's ever happened in the history of gaming. I don't think that's ever happened with a game this massive, where the gameplay is genuinely worse than the original because they threw away the core elements of what made it good. The boss fights don't feel right because all the boss fights have confusing and too fast telegraphs, or they just straight up don't have good telegraphs. Like, you know, Lace's telegraphs for all of her attacks just kind of suck. The only one that's remotely clear is the parry. All of her other telegraphs, she's usually too far off screen for you to see any of them. At least you can tell what's going to happen. There's also like a few other fights that they really don't need to fix, but they, for some unknown fucking reason, they decided stuff like that giant fly thing that you fight right outside of Bellheart. For some reason they decided that one needs to be fixed, when no, that one's just a hard fight. You just gotta get good at it. It's really not a bad fight, and it has very clear and concise like telegraphs and stuff, so you're able to tell what it's going to do for the most part. But you know, you take something like Lace or any of most of the boss fights in this game, and all those clear and concise and consistent all those like telegraphs that make the fight so freaking doable in the first place just suddenly become either too fast or too nonsensical. There's such thing as over designing a boss, and it's something you want to avoid. Making a boss simple, especially a boss close to the end of the game, is infinitely better than making a boss complex. And it's really something they should pick up. Alright, second phase. For some reason all my down slashes are just completely cancelled. Man, I wish these weren't so fucking useless for combat. I could easily throw this on. Actually, yeah, I wish a lot of the tools in this game that you have weren't so freaking useless. Like, the tools and stuff, I feel like they shouldn't be so goddamn useless. It's kind of sad that they are, because, like, in Hollow Knight, you had to really rely on everything at your disposal to be higher bosses, like Absolute Radiance and Pure Vessel. You had to really rely on everything at your disposal. Wait, can I just force an air attack like that? No, I can't. She would just wait you out. Ha! Get parried. Get parried, every. I think she parried me. Ah, I see. If you land on the ground before she actually finishes the attack, she will do a second. She'll do a second pierce. So for that pierce attack for the second phase, if you land on the ground before she finishes it, she'll actually do a second pierce towards you. That makes sense. Yes, that's how I'd expect, you know, it to work, because that's how anyone would design it. That's how a second phase attack would be designed. There's a pretty solid reason why a lot of fights have second phases, and it's to make it less predictable and more difficult. And part of that would be making it so that okay, why is my jump not enough to get out of there? Because I would jump and then it just won't let me out. Yeah, you just don't have enough time to respond to that. They need to slow that attack down. I'm able to tell all this because I've like made shitty bosses before. I know what a shitty boss looks like when I see one, and this is certainly one. I have no problem with Team Cherry. I have a problem with them abandoning what made their original game so fucking good, and that was the fact that the bosses were actually good. The story was not like, you know, what tied people in. It was the actual gameplay, and that's something that they tried to, I'm assuming they just straight up abandoned with this game because it plays nothing like the original. The only thing that's consistent is Needle. And even then, that's barely consistent in the aspect that it literally barely fucking functions the same way as a nail. You have, like, you have such a variable range. You have just such a huge variable of a range, which just makes it ultimately, like, more annoying. Yeah, they need to adjust this fight. It's not... It doesn't play right. It doesn't feel good to fight. It's fun, but not really. They really need to adjust this actual fight. They really need to actually fix it. I really wish it actually, like, I I really wish Team Cherry actually just listened to literally anyone when it came to like adjusting the fights. If they had just released a beta test for like, you know, people outside of the development team, they had just released a small beta test of like a bit of the combat, like a good chunk of the combat and what it'll be like for most of the game, and then took the fucking feedback, I know for sure this fight wouldn't be lasting this long. Because I'm mostly just dying to poorly made hitboxes and bad frickin' telegraphs. I get that the game's supposed to be more agile than the first one, but all they've done is make it more sluggish and slow, while disguising it behind fast pace. Because most of this combat has now become just waiting. It's literally just become waiting and praying that the shitty game design doesn't get you before the boss does. Like, I was literally pressing jump there and it just didn't let me. That's a glitch. Actually, there should be an update that's supposedly will rebalance it. Properties, beta, select, public testing branch, touching branch, what the fuck? Oh hey, I have 29.9 hours in this game. Rookie numbers, considering I have over 2,000, not 2,000, 200 in Hollow Knight and 25,000 Subnautica. I have issues. Alright, sorry, my brother came in my room. He waited right outside my room for me to unmute so he could just interrupt me again. Yeah, no, he was just bothering me about this dream he had where he, for some reason, learned. Hey, stop fighting, or both of you are going up for adoption! Cat's fighting. Snacks for my girl. I have a snack for my girlfriend tomorrow. I'm sure she'll be excited for that. Dude, they really need to add something like Shade Cloak into this game. It would legit make this so much better. It would make this honestly really shit. Actually, is there like a suggestions page or something like that? But apparently there is something called like Shade Cloak in this game. Oh. I think it's in the third act. Which means it's a reward for beating this bit. The reward for being a shitty designed boss is a ability that's basically just anti-shitty designed bosses. Well, time to close Discord. Man, if only Team Cherry knew how to make good, well-designed bosses that were overall balanced and actually fun to play against. Oh wait, they actually already did that with the first game, which this game was supposed to be better than in every way. That's what they advertised, and yet somehow they failed. Which, how do you fail at that? It's pretty clear and concise what people liked and didn't like about Hollow Knight. Pretty freaking clear cut. People liked the endings, people liked the combat, people liked the story, people liked the characters. People didn't like how the game felt really unbalanced at times. And people didn't like, you know, how annoying the Coliseum of Fools was. Seems like the only thing they didn't double down on when it came to what people didn't like in Hollow Knight was Coliseum of Fools, where that doesn't seem to be in this one. I don't know how they managed to double down on everything else that people didn't like about Hollow Knight, like the game being way too unfair early on, and the game genuinely just feeling really clunky at times. Because, like, you know, the game does feel clunky at times until you get Quick Slash. But somehow, some reason, they doubled down to all hell on making sure that the game just felt clunky and annoying. Like the inputs not reading properly sometimes. Because, for example, when I'm dashing into her, I'm literally holding the button that makes... I'm literally holding like A or D going the opposite direction as her. Or, you know, just stuff like that. People really hate, like, you know, attacks that suck you in. And don't let you just run out. So, like, this is genuinely a bad boss. I'm having fun fighting her. I'm also just really hating fighting her. because she's a shittily designed boss that could have been designed better in literally almost all aspects. I love you so much. I'll give this one a last good try, then I'll get off for the day. Alright, well, I think that's enough playing for today. I'm gonna cut the stream short here. Don't get anyone pregnant. If you do, make sure they're hot. That'll be all from me. Peace.